I have to change the YouTube title as well. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Leylines, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. He just took down Hero in a very intense best of 5. Is he spent? Is he out of energy, or can he keep going? As that was a crazy best of 5. We'll see if he can. For Shopify, it is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. We go, and again, I'm sure MaxPax, he was lying in wait. I'm sure he was watching that series as it was unfolding. So just updating the YouTube title. And as we settle into this, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TvP. Let's go. Let us go. Also, we're going to Leylines. Leylines is one of the more standard maps of the map pool. It's not as large as Tokamak or Magnatha or Incorporeal, but it's not as small as Pylon or Ultralove or Torches, so a little bit more down the middle. A little bit more. So we'll see how our players will approach this. As I mentioned previously, I don't really expect to see Stargate play at a MaxPax. He's been very vocal about his disdain for Stargate play as well. It is like viable and definitely viable on certain maps, and definitely more accessible, especially on maps like Torches, for example. We've seen a lot of Stargate play, but MaxPax is not really one to embrace that too much. So we're expecting like 3 Gapeling, sometimes 4 Gapeling Stalker. True, he does whip that out from time to time if he sees an opportunity. Oh, hello. As ByuN is opening up Marauder first. Okay. So ByuN does go for an economic start, racks expand. MaxPax did scout this, and the purpose, the goal of going Marauder is to try to punish MaxPax's punishment. Basically, MaxPax or the Protoss player typically would be making early units and rally them across the map to delay this CC, right? To disrupt the economic build of ByuN. His goal here is to try to lure him in, bait him, and then catch the initial Adept or Stalker. But as you can see, MaxPax, he doesn't move out. Yeah, he doesn't move out. He makes a Stalker, but he stays at home. He stays at home. And ByuN takes a 3rd CC on location. He's crazy. Let's go. We have been seeing this a little bit more from ByuN. ByuN 3rd CC before 2nd ranks, before factory, before anything else. So very greedy play here by ByuN. We'll see if he can get away with it. We'll see, Pappy. We'll see. Cutting all the corners, cutting everything. So it's going 3 CC, 3 racks. We have seen this from ByuN before, but typically the 3rd CC's in the main. For it to be on location is crazy. And is he gonna check? Yeah, MaxPax, he sees the extra racks, but he doesn't check the 3rd base yet. Hallucination pulls away. MaxPax, he doesn't confirm. So for all he knows, this could be a 3 racks, even a 4 racks follow-up. This could be just hyper aggressive. MaxPax, nah, he expands. 2 gate. Yeah, 2 gate blink into a 3rd base. A solid read here out of MaxPax, going into a very greedy build himself. This is very out of favor. This is very out of fashion, going 2 gates into an expansion. So we have greed versus greed. Hallucination does go in. And MaxPax is yet to confirm. Spots eBay, spots production. He should realize that something is a little bit wrong. Oh no! As the hallucination will expire. Doesn't confirm the 3rd base. MaxPax getting in position. First gateway explosion. But again, a push isn't coming. MaxPax is expecting it. Once again, trying to get an eye on move outs. Once again, there's not really much of an army. And that's pushing. And it feels like at this point, ByuN, he's gotten away with it. He's gotten away with the third base. It's going to slowly get up and running. Now, when it comes to this fast third, it doesn't really kick in until it gets fully saturated. So it's going to take a little bit longer here for ByuN to reap its rewards. Right now, the supplies are neck and neck, but soon he will have a boosted economy, and then he can take a supply lead in the mid-game. This entire time, MaxPax, he could be just killing SCVs. Like, these workers are so exposed, they're so vulnerable. MaxPax, he doesn't check. He doesn't know. He still has no idea. Otherwise, that would just be free damage. So ByuN, he does catch a stalker. Gets one. Let's go to Stalker, warping across the map. MaxPax looking for a drop into the main. ByuN gets spotted. He's going for it. He's going for the run by, going for the drop. ByuN doesn't really have much at home to defend. I'll say drop in. ByuN, he responds. Fire keeps up. Does catch out the Zealots. ByuN is pushing forward. Storm is ready, but there are no... Okay, there's one High Templar. There are a couple of Templar. There's a Storm. And it does zone ByuN away. That's used the force fields. And ByuN, he holds. He holds back at home. Does defend. The War Prism is still behind the main base. And we spoke about it earlier, right? Like, the third base doesn't really kick in until the mid-game. You can see it here. ByuN does take that supply lead. He has the army. And he is somewhat in position. Denies the warp in. Let's go. Does deny. MaxPax, he saw the transferring workers, so I believe he is now aware of the third. He has 3 High Templar, 3 Storms. He's pushing in. Oh. That goes off. Decent mine connections. Nice spread with the Marauders. Very nice. Does force out one of the Storms. Snipes 1 High Templar. The 2 Templar left. Remember, at this stage of the game, there are no Ghosts or no EMPs. Storms, they are popping up. Those are the final 2 Storms, and the boys are being pulled. With that, ByuN, he will shut this down. He will clean up the army completely, but it's going to cost him so many SCVs. The main base. The main base is just on fire. Zealots are popping up. ByuN, he takes the main fight. It was impressive, but back at home, 32 SCV kills. The Zealots, they're winning the game here for MaxPax. The Zealot drop back. Yay. And this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. ByuN still has the better army, but ByuN, after killing these Zealots, he has to counterattack immediately. Otherwise, he'll just be outscaled. And even then, I don't know if he can pull it off. Colossus are on the way. Another Zealot run by. Back at home, we have High Templar, we have Storm. ByuN down to 44 SCVs. ByuN still has a massive army, by the way. But he's stuck at home. And he's stuck defending. He does have, how many? 2 Ghosts, soon to be 3. 3 Ghosts are coming out. Another Zealot run by, and another. And MaxPax, he knows that he's vulnerable. He knows that he's behind, or that he's in a dire position. So the Zealots are ready to distract, to counterattack, to drag back ByuN, to buy time, to allow MaxPax to build up his army. And he's pulling it off. He's making 2 more Colossus. So MaxPax is getting further ahead. MaxPax is up to 80 probes. Jesus. It's up to a 4 base saturation. He's getting his 4th Colossus up and running. How many Vikings does ByuN have? 4. Only 4 Vikings. The Viking count isn't there. Colossus, they can reign supreme. Storms are good, but Colossus up against 0 Vikings, I mean, they can be better. Sure, there are a handful of Vikings, but it's 1-to-1. Second starport's now on the way. Both players are building up. And ByuN, he needs something to go his way. And my big concern here is that MaxPax, he can slowly just take more bases. I mean, he's maxed out now. He's pushing out. Still only 5 Vikings for ByuN. I'm very concerned about that low Viking count. Unless he can get on top of the Colossus themselves. There's not that much ground support. Prism gets shut down. Nicely done. Prism does fall. Vikings get a decent angle. They will get 1 Colossus. Not even. Colossus pulls away. Pulls back. And ByuN, he's rolling on. We have more CCs in production. Got more bases. Soon to be more planetaries as well. Slowing things down. Getting into the late game. Now, if you recall, a big criticism of Nightmare coming into this kind of game state was that Nightmare, he never teched up, he never got ready for a Skytoss transition. We'll see. MaxPax needs to go there. Nice EMP. Oh my god. Very nice EMP. That was half the High Templar. Okay, there's still a couple more. There's still 3 more Templar. ByuN is buying time. Here we go. Fusion Core's on the way. Getting to Liberators. On the horizon. There's a Stargate. This is what Nightmare was missing. So Stargate's on the way, getting ready for the Fleet Peak and getting ready for Skytoss. MaxPax is thinking further ahead. Maybe he lands. Oh, brutal. Oh god, he stands in the storm. It's a lot of damage on the bio. Where are the ghosts? Ghosts now moving in. 3 goes to the main army. Lands 1 EMP. Lands 1. We do see that MaxPax is keeping his High Templar back to make sure he doesn't stack. Another EMP lands. Okay, he's got 2 more Templar with the army. ByuN does scout. ByuN is aware. MaxPax coming with another Templar. Storms, they keep turning away. EMP lands, but there's still 1 more Templar left. There's still 1 Templar behind this. And another comes in. And with that, he just has Perpetual Storms. EMP lands. That was the final storm. But the base was broken. 12 SCV kills. MaxPax, he got what he wanted. He always just had a storm available. And there's a Fleet Beacon. Fleet Beacon, that'll be for the mothership. Doesn't have to switch into Skytoss, but he'll have it ready. So here come the upgrades. Oh, nice flank. Gets a Templar. We have 4 Templar in total. These are the only 4 currently. MaxPax, nice EMP. EMPs are landing. Jesus. EMPs are landing. But there's still 3 Templar left with energy. ByuN is hoping for one solid fight. We have a +1 air attack. We have 3 more Stargates on the way. That's going to be a quadruple Stargate setup. Oh. TvP lands. Okay, there's 2 Templar left with energy. Just the 2. Storm zones. Okay, we still have 2 storms remaining on the 1 High Templar. At the same time, Brutal Zealot run by. Oh. Yeah, it does attract ByuN. ByuN has to race over. That's going to be 10, 11, 12 SCV kills. Oof. Critical damage. And carrier production has begun. MaxPax throwing down cannons, shield batteries. Tempest are on the way. I believe he canceled the carriers. Yeah, he cancels the carriers, goes into Mass Tempest. Again, Tempest are superior. They're just more efficient. Especially no longer in later game. This is still quite tense, but MaxPax has the bank. He's got a bank to work with. He's getting ready to have a more efficient army. Liberation now has arrived, but by the time we have Liberators, we already have Tempest. So this is late for ByuN. Thankfully, he does have a lot of Vikings after. Oh, good. Storms are brutal. Storms do run away. ByuN does punish. And you can see MaxPax slowly just bullying back the army. That's the power of the Tempest. ByuN cannot keep up with its range. You can see ByuN trying to come in for a flank, but MaxPax, he notices. MaxPax just bullying the center base. How many Vikings do we have? 14. 14 Vikings. Is that enough? Guess 1 Tempest. Gets 2. Okay. 2 Tempests go down. Storms, they were late. CMPs, we're just now warping in more High Templar. And ByuN is hoping for one big fight. If he can take a fight and try to rush on through and get on top of the production, then he can try to end the game. But these small skirmishes are still in favor of MaxPax. Because he's got, what, 8,000 minerals and 5,000 gas. I think it's so difficult to maintain this center base on ley lines. The mineral line is so exposed. Storm connects. Time some of the Vikings. At the same time, ByuN, he is pushing in on the south side. Zealots will shut him down. Nice flank though. Nice flank. The Colossus getting caught out. Oh, the Vikings. Oh god, they stack up against the Archons. A lot of Vikings fall. It was a messy fight, a messy trade for ByuN. He does win the fight in the end, but remember, MaxPax, he can remax, he can rebuild. We have carriers on the way. ByuN, he's gonna keep going. He has to keep going, but he can't because of the storms. Okay. Takes the storm to the face. EMPs do land. Okay. Lands EMPs. There's still a couple of storms remaining. So a nice spread here by ByuN. That's the final storm. And ByuN, he breaks through. He breaks the main army. He does push in. Zealot reinforcements are brutal. Nice cloak with a ghost will save them. No detection. No observer. And keep going. ByuN, he has to keep pushing. Thankfully, his Viking count is solid. Remember, carriers are on the way, and Vikings will be ideal against that. Will be ideal. Here come the first wave of carriers. Oh, Vikings, they lands. Now he scans. Now he lifts. He's like, okay. He needs the carriers. Oh my god, a massive DT counterattack. 12 DTs. They kill the planetary and they cause a distraction. ByuN, what's the plan? Do we turn around? Do we commit? There's Colossus. Guess one of the carriers. Brutal storm. The Vikings, they send in the storms, and the Vikings are all going down. And with that, MaxPax, he holds. MaxPax, he does hold on. Meanwhile, DTs are crossing up. They kill everything. 21 SCV kills, 2 bases. And MaxPax will take it. Again, ByuN, he held his own. He had some better fights at times, but specifically ley lines is really brutal for late game just because of this. This center base here, the top base, and this center base as well. Like, these bases are so exposed, so vulnerable, so difficult to maintain if your opponent has map control. It's unique to ley lines. As opposed to Persephone, for example, where it's easier to take your bases. Or Tokamak. Yeah, ley lines is brutal here for the late game. As ByuN is down to 33 SCVs. DTs, they go back in. And ByuN, this is going to be his final army. He just doesn't have the economy to sustain these losses. MaxPax does. MaxPax is moving in. Storm zones away. And ByuN, he just cannot engage. Not anymore. Not into the sky toss. Storm connects. Storm lands with the main army. ByuN is stepping in. His final engagement. Does tank the storms. Again, trying to get under those carriers. He only has 2 Vikings, so he has limited anti-air. 1 carrier goes down, but just the 1. And again, that's kind of all that ByuN has. He's muling his heart out. Scans, sees more bases, sees saturation. ByuN, he's hanging on with those mules. ByuN is trading as efficiently as possible. Does split against the storms. Hey, takes out another base. Takes down another expansion. Meanwhile, everything else, I mean, we're flashing red. That's expansions, they're flashing red. ET's done Zealots. They're harassing. ByuN does get a mineral line. True. It's a base. ByuN does have a pretty threatening main army, but MaxPax he can afford to trade. Yeah, Zealots taking on some of the ghosts. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 ghosts going down. 6. Oh no, 7. Oh, the ghosts fall. GG gets called, and MaxPax he will take game number 1. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. MaxPax does take the first game of the series, does take a lead, and again does embrace ley lines. As we were mentioning, ley lines specifically is a map where if we do get to the late game, it can be very difficult as a Terran player to defend your bases. To defend the, the 3 bases in the center, they are so difficult to maintain, and we've seen many Terran players, including players like Clem, struggle to defend those bases. Struggle to defend. So with that, GG, well played. With that, MaxPax does take a lead, and we'll see where we end up coming into game 2. Where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? Game 2 is going to be on Torches. Okay. So it looks like game 2 is Torches, game 3 is Maganatha, game 4 Ultra Love, game 5 Persephone. No Tokamak. Tokamak got vetoed. Okay. Yeah, ByuN vetoed Tokamak makes sense. MaxPax vetoed Pylon also makes sense. So we've gotten rid of the more aggressive map, and we've gotten rid of the more defensive map as well. The 2 extremes. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And we'll see if ByuN can recover. I would favor ByuN coming to Torches. Again, the smaller the map, the more aggressive ByuN can be, the more difficult it's going to be for the Protoss player to defend and to make it into that longer game state. So this is ByuN's big opportunity to recover, to bounce back in this series. Let's go. Let's go. Starduck. As we are loading into Torches. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Torches, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. This is his time. This is his opportunity. It is a ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. We have the Danish Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And welcome one more to Torches. Torches is a very aggressive map. The map pool, it's often is vetoed in more standard best of 3s, but in best of 5, hey, we got more maps, we get less vetoes, we get to experience maps like Torches. When it comes to Torches, does have a shoulder rush distance by air, does have a shoulder rush distance by ground. We have gold bases all over the place. We have these mineral walls that we can break through as well as ByuN moves out for what looks to be an eBay block, but I believe MaxPax will scout. Oh, we'll confirm. Yeah, nice scout by MaxPax. He will deny the eBay. And MaxPax will be able to expand on location as he pulls the boys and will force a cancel. Again, if this was a later scout, then the eBay would have had more progression, would have had more health, more HP, and that would have made it more difficult for MaxPax to actually deal with this to expand, and would have been forced to expand at the 3rd location instead. But this is a much better start for MaxPax. Shuts it down, and we'll take the natural. So good, nice moves out of MaxPax. Speaking of the 3rd base, there is an area here that you can abuse in between the linear 3rd base and the natural. This position can be brutal if tanks are able to siege up, if the Terran player can wedge themselves in between the bases. So we'll see how MaxPax expands. We'll see if he does go for the low ground base, the base on the right, or the base on the left. For now, we're settling into our tech of choice. It is not uncommon to see Stargate openers on torches just because of the short rush distance by air. It's a good way to hard counter, to try to hard counter Banshee play or early drops as well. But the meta has been shifting back and forth on that, and as I mentioned at the start of the series, I don't really think that MaxPax enjoys playing with Stargate too much. So we'll see. We shall see. As we have our tech, it is going to be a Twilight Council out of MaxPax. Then we get the stretch. Then we get the stretch. Just gearing up for the series. We will CC on the high ground from ByuN. Being safe. Likewise, doesn't tend to catch out the Adept and will be able to. Oh, getting shade away. Barely can. Adept does escape. Likewise, we're expecting like 2 or 3 gate blink Stalker out of MaxPax. 4 gate blink can be very difficult to actually make work just because there's no way into the main. There's no way into the main base. You have to go through the natural instead. General scouting can be much more difficult on this map, which is why we can see ByuN has seen nothing so far. ByuN is in the dark. And that is a second Rax before starport. Okay, you have my attention. ByuN. We're going for a delayed starport. If we throw down a third Rax, we're expecting a third Rax here, then this will lead into a 2-base all-in. Or at least it does scream 2-base all-in. It's going to be quite dedicated. There we go, Tech Labs on the way for early stim. And we're still waiting for another Rax. Interesting. MaxPax going for the Robo on 2 bases. Warpism's on the way to harass. No shot we're turning this into a 2-1-1. Yeah, there it is. I was like, where's the third Rax? Third Rax now on the way. And again, it's going to be a 3-1 setup here before the starport. ByuN, he does like going for an eBay alongside this to go for +1, but this time, yeah, there it is. There's eBay, there's +1. And this should be lined up with stim, with combat shields, with the rest of the setup. So hyper aggression out of ByuN. And torches does favor this kind of style. So it all makes sense. It's all coming together. MaxPax claiming his third. I believe that was 2 gate. Yeah, sorry, 3. 3 gate blink into a third. Safer play out of MaxPax, making his way in towards the main. At least trying to. Again, the main base is looking much more vulnerable. And MaxPax, he can try to blink in. He's on hold position. It blinks away. MaxPax, he pulls out. That is 2 more Maxes. Yeah, 2 base all in. So 2 base all in out of ByuN. He is not going to be expanding alpha this. He's not going to be macroing. He's going to double down with Mass Marine, with Stim, with nothing but Bio. Oh boy. And of course, tanks as well. Now, typically this is with 3. We're getting up to 4, potentially 5 tanks. We spoke about this earlier, but this area here in between the third and natural is brutal if the tanks can siege up on this low ground. We'll see if ByuN can get there. Meanwhile, big scout, he sees, MaxPax, he confirms, he sees both Raxes. That is a massive tell. Charge is on the way. Zelts are amassing, but here comes the move out. ByuN, he pulls the boys. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing. The Raxes aren't even done, but because he got scouted, like, he has to go. He's on a timer. ByuN, he has to commit. Bearing in mind, because there are no medevacs, he has to hold on to those stims. He cannot waste them. Every stim will hurt his army. Cannot waste that stim. As he has yet to do so. Prism getting caught out. Very nice. Prism goes down. Tanks are moving in. Force fields, they lock down some of the Marines, but the tanks, they all siege up within range of the pylons. And ByuN, he might just have too much here. MaxPax trying to catch reinforcements. No shield battery. The boys are being pulled into the tank line. And again, there are just so many tanks. And with that, ByuN, he has done it. He shuts down all the stalkers. Tanks stay focused on the immortal. And ByuN breaks through. He breaks through. There's nothing left. There is no army. Welcome to Torches back. Zelt's forcing friendly fire. They're trying to. They're trying to force friendly fire. Here come the reinforcements. Here comes a rally. And with that, the base has been broken. GG gets called, and ByuN ties things up. We have a back and forth. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We have a tied up series. We're getting into game 3. Again, Torches is known for this more aggressive play. ByuN, he did go for the 2-base all-in. MaxPax did scout it ahead of time, but we saw that as soon as ByuN got scouted, he pulled the boys. Typically, you wait a little bit longer. To build up some more Marines, to build up your army, but no, alas, ByuN, he pulled the trigger then and there. He had to pull the trigger. It was a key moment as well that he was able to snipe that War Prism. That meant that there was no micro. There was no added micro potential from MaxPax. He couldn't reinforce behind the army either. And with that, GG. ByuN, once he got in between the bases, that was going to be game. And with that, we have that back and forth. Game 3, what map are we loading into here? Game 3 is going to be, Maganatha. So, funnily enough, similar with these vetoes and with the map order, coming into Game 3, coming into Maganatha, this is where I favor MaxPax more. Game 4 is going to be on Ultra Love, so we're kind of going back and forth here. The reason why or at least I favor MaxPax coming to Maganatha, the map is very large. The map is very, very large. These aggressive builds are weaker on Maganatha, so MaxPax can have an easier time getting into the mid game. I say easier time, this isn't Tokamak. The bases are still very spread out. They're very spread out, and we saw ByuN excel against Hero on Maganatha. It was still very intense and a very long game and a very stressful game. We'll see if ByuN can replicate that success. Otherwise, we're kind of leaning more towards MaxPax here, unless ByuN can get some early damage. Unless he can pop off early on. We'll see if he does. See if he does. As it looks like our players, they need a moment. Oh god. Sorry. Just trying to click on the chat. Here we go. But looks like our players need a moment, so we do have a small break here. Just a small one. They need some time after that game. Understandable. So we're getting into our next game. Here we go. Players are ready. Game 3 is going to be on Maganatha. Oh boy. And I feel like the pressure is going to be on ByuN here to kind of pull this off. To get one over on MaxPax's map. Oh boy. I want to see those EMPs again, Pat. True. I want to see them again. But here we go. We are going to be loading into Maganatha. Players are ready. Beeps are done. We're loading in. Also, un momento. Here we go. Okay, we are back and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. Oh, representing Shopify, tying up the series 1-1. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. Representing Cyberstorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. We go. Sorry, I was just checking on something. We'll be good. Alright, good to go. Mr. Medler. SMH. True. As we're settling into Maganath here again, the largest map in the map pool, very large map. The bases are, I mean, they're plentiful, but they are spread out. The bases are spread out, so it can be difficult to maintain control of the map and defend your fringe bases. Is applicable to both players. So there's often a lot of chaos and a lot of aggression, a lot of fights occurring in a longer game, in the late game. But I don't know if ByuN wants to get there against MaxPax. I don't know if that's a plan. We'll see. For now, economic opener, CC on the low ground. MaxPax likewise going gate, cyber expands. Sorry, gate expanded to cyber core. Calming down. After an intense game on torches. As from here, we can try to take a choice. If this was another player, I would say, hey, Stargate play could be viable here on Maganath. We've seen it from players like Classic, players like Hero. But again, MaxPax isn't really one to play Stargate, and there it is, a Twilight Council opener at a MaxPax. I'll be honest, we're kind of expecting this every game. Every game with this series, we're expecting a Twilight Council into 3-gate Blink, into a Robo, into a third base. We're not really expecting much deviation here from MaxPax. On smaller maps, we could see MaxPax open up blindly into Charge. True, we could see that. We could also see him go 4-gate Blink Stalker as well. But I feel like that's like the most range we're going to be getting out of MaxPax, at least early on. We'll see if that proves to be the case. So now it does scouts. Does get across the map. Does get eyes on the 1-1-1. Again, there's no crazy like second racks or third racks or setup for a 2-base all-in like we saw last game. None of that here. Opening up with a Mind Drop. On the way. We have a Rover after the third, so MaxPax being quite greedy. Actually, he goes 2-gate Blink, yeah, 2-gate Blink Stalkers into a third base, into a Robo. So greedier build here by MaxPax. Meanwhile, ByuN going into Hyper Flight Rotors. Again, he's quite fond of this. We saw this plenty of times against Hero. Now we're seeing it here against MaxPax as well. Once again, the reasoning for this is because trying to catch your opponent off guard with Cloak Banshees is less viable nowadays, just because of how safe Protoss players are being. So there's a higher chance that we'll have detection. So instead, why not just have more micro ability with your Banshees? Oh, Mind Shot's going up. Let's kill 2 probes and we'll escape with 1 Widow Mine. 1 mine gets away. As Benavaki is going to get caught out. Okay, nothing major yet. We see MaxPax getting his third base, working towards Charge. From here, we can then get into our splash damage of choice. This time, it's going to be Storm. So Temple Archives into Storm. Going to be delaying Colossus until a lot later in the game. So MaxPax is just building up. And likewise, ByuN is moving out. Okay, so ideally, he does want to distract with his main army and then go in with the Banshees. ByuN is claiming his third, and here comes a move out. I believe the Banshees, okay, they do meet up. So 2 Banshees towards the main army towards the third. And we'll see if ByuN can distract MaxPax. The main base is exposed. Gun scans. Let's go to the army. Does have to be careful with those tanks. Has to take care. Poking in, sieging up. So they'll see Banshees, they hit the natural. And they will one-shot workers. And 3 probes going down at the same time. We're forcing friendly fire, and MaxPax, he shuts down the main army, cleans up the tanks, cleans up the Marines. Oh, I said a very close fight in the end. ByuN barely saves the tank, just barely. Banshees, they don't get much done. And ByuN has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. He will lose the tank. He will lose everything. Yeah, this is not worth it. Remember, ByuN, his goal was just to distract, and the Banshees, they had to get damage done, and they didn't. They failed to get damage done. They killed 3 probes. ByuN's third CC is denied, forced to expand in the main base, and ByuN is contained on 2 bases. A brutal start for ByuN. And MaxPax, yeah, he can just go for the kill. There's no bunker, there's no tank, there's nothing here. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he will take a lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. ByuN, he was so dedicated to that aggression, to that move out. Unfortunately, he did overcommit, he overextended, he did not get damage done the way he was hoping to, and everything just fell apart. It all just fell apart then and there. ByuN had nothing back at home. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax takes the lead, and now we're getting into game number 4. Game 4 here. Now, we did mention that Maganatha was going to be more of MaxPax's map. Now game 4 is going to be on Ultralove. This is going to be an interesting one. So Ultralove is a smaller map, has a shorter rush distance by ground. We have seen a lot of all-ins succeed on Ultralove, so I do lean towards ByuN in that sense, but at the same time, Ultralove is a map of extremes. We see a lot of all-ins, or we see some hyper late game. If you can get up to a 4-base economy, you can cut the map in half, you can slow things down, and force the game to go longer and cut them, and again, just get into like a 5, 6, 7 base setup. So we'll see how aggressive ByuN can be. So we're getting ready here for Ultralove. Let's go. I wonder why MaxPax takes 3rd base extremely fast, like this game, sometimes a lot later, like last game. If you recall, a big factor, big factor is the map. I was trying to emphasize that Torches is known for aggression and all-ins. Maganatha is the largest map in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. We're expecting longer games, and we're expecting less aggression, so that kind of dictates when you can be greedy, when you cannot be. That's why MaxPax went for a 3-gate setup in Torches, and why he went 2-gate on Maganatha. So you kind of like determine, or you kind of assume like how aggressive your opponent's going to be and what you can get away with. So maps, they just play a big factor when it comes to that sort of thing. When it comes to determining when you can try to be greedy, when you can't be. Of course, it's still a risk, it's still a gamble. Just because there's a lower chance that aggression is going to be happening on Maganatha doesn't mean that there's no chance. But you can try to cut corners. Yeah. For example, I do expect to see MaxPax go 3-gate here on Ultralove. Like no shot he he rushed into a 3rd. It'd be quite bold here on Ultralove, but we'll see. And this morning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultralove, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify down in the series. Can he force the ace match? Can he bring it back and bring us to game 5? It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. And again, our eyes are going to be on ByuN here. Unfortunately, everything just fell apart in the last game when it came to his attempted harass, his attempted aggression. The Banshees didn't do enough, and MaxPax, he was all over that tank push. But we can go for something more dedicated here on Ultralove. So show us what you got. We see MaxPax, he does scout, he does check for a proxy here on the right hand side before moving out across the map. And ByuN is going for an economic start to Rax expand. So faster CC here out of ByuN. Does go for the faster CC. And we'll see what the follow-up is going to be. Likewise, we could even see MaxPax be the aggressor instead. We were talking a lot about like 2-gate openers or 3-gate openers. 4-gate play is still viable here, and on Ultra Level we could see MaxPax try to be the aggressor instead. Like, aggression is favored on this map, and it goes both ways. So that also could be an option for MaxPax. Oh. Depending on what ByuN goes for. For now, MaxPax, he's aware of the faster CC. He knows. He could try to punish. As we have a reactor follow-up, not Tech Lab. So that means no early Marauder, no early Cyclone. Preserving that gas. So Reaper does move in. Again, we're about to see our tech of choice. MaxPax controls well, doesn't lose any probes. And, oh, ByuN going for a third CC before Star, but before anything else. We saw this in Game 1, if you recall. We saw this same build on ley lines in Game 1 of the series, but ByuN took it a step further. He had a CC on location. Here it's a CC on the high ground, so very greedy build here by ByuN. A little bit safer compared to what we saw in ley lines, but greedy nonetheless. Oh boy. And if MaxPax gets across the map, if he sees this, he can respond with 2 more gates. He can respond with hyper aggression. I mean, he can go one of 2 ways. If he scouts this, he can respond with aggression, or he can respond with greed of his own and go for a faster third. Hallucination goes in, sees all 3 maxes, does confirm the CC, he knows. Yeah, he sees everything he needs to. And what's the plan? Do we expand? Do we throw down extra gateways? As MaxPax, he has a 2-gate setup. He's expanding. Yeah, so he responds with greed, so he's going for his own third. Basically, he confirms that ByuN is being greedy. ByuN is not going to be aggressive, so MaxPax, he can get away with keeping up with his faster Nexus. So 2-gate blink out of MaxPax. And MaxPax, he knows he's safe. He knows he's safe. He can chill. He can tech up. He can probe. He knows that ByuN can't really do much anytime soon. Now, when it comes to ByuN's build, it really kicks in when he lands his third base, when he saturates his third. Coming into the mid-game, he should have a larger army, assuming he can expand. The downside of ByuN being scouted here means that MaxPax, he knows that he can apply more pressure, and he knows that he can potentially delay the third. Delay from being landed, I mean. Now we have the gateway follow-up. Forge on the way. Gaining high ground vision. Punishing the lack of bunker. Oof. Bunker is cancelled. Meanwhile, big shout out to Magnamon in the chat. God, my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 8 months. Thank you, my God. Do appreciate it. And we're just bullying this army, by the way. We're just bullying this army. That's going to be how many Marine kills? That's going to be 9 Marines going down. 9 Marine kills. Aye. Punishing the fact that ByuN, he had no bunker. And of course, because of ByuN's 3 racks, there's no tank. Right? The build means that there are no tanks. That's also why I mentioned that MaxPax could have punished with 4-gate blink because of lack of factory production. Despite that, MaxPax is still punishing, still getting damage. He can blink into the main. Going for more SCVs. Stim is finishing up in 7 seconds. MaxPax, he will lose 1 Stalker. Still well worth it as he just completely punishes ByuN. That's why it's risky rushing into a 3rd CC like this. He got away with it on ley lines, didn't get away with it here. As that is 10 Marine kills, 7 SCVs, the Reaper. Denied mining, all for 1 Stalker. Like, the efficiency. The efficiency is crazy, man. It's crazy. And MaxPax is just getting comfortable, getting very comfortable. Charge on the way, +1, soon to be Storm. And ByuN has a lot of catching up to do. A lot of catching up to do here. The third base will help, but the third base is also why ByuN is behind. If it went unscouted, different story, right? Different story. So ByuN does land his third. Storm is on the way. Okay, ByuN has Stim, he can be active. He's hunting for those stalkers. He might even deny the fourth. And it looks like he will. Not bad. Does force a cancel. MaxPax out of position. Storm is not yet ready. Yeah, picking up. Jumping into the main. MaxPax, he tries to react. Racing on over. ByuN, he gets into the mineral line. Not bad. Yeah, quick moves here out of ByuN. It gets 14, 16 probe kills at the same time. Zelta get into the third. Prism into the main west as well, going for the warp in. Both players taking losses. Oh, that's going to be 9 SCV kills. Losing up to 10. Zelta into the main base. Thankfully, there are reinforcements. Defensive Storm. In the end, that's going to be 16 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. MaxPax, he deals an equivalent amount of damage across the map. 16 SCVs, denies the third. Both players taking a lot of losses. But MaxPax has Storm. And MaxPax, he can look to contain ByuN on 2 bases and just deny the third. Just take over this location. Prism into the main. High Templar have arrived. It's too early for Ghosts. I mean, Ghosts are just now popping out. And MaxPax is going in. He's going for the kill. He wants it. Oh, nice feedback. Yeah, solid feedback. Shuts down the Ghost. Now the Storm is coming in. Oof. Storm does land. Oh, God. Another Storm as well. And there's still 2 more High Templar. There's still 2 more Storms left. Warp in should be denied. MaxPax overextending a little bit here, depending on the storms. Yeah, there's 1 storm remaining. Oh, God, Jesus, does land. Storms have been brutal. And ByuN is still on 2 bases. MaxPax pulls away, throwing down his bay, getting into Colossus. ByuN survives. He's holding. He's holding on. He's holding. He expands, getting his third base. Thankfully, because of the faster orbital, he can make 3 SCVs at a time. So he's replenishing his workers. More ghosts are building up. If he can land some EMPs, then he can take these fights. Those EMPs are crucial. These are the only 4 Templar. I think a 5th one was just warped in. MaxPax does pre-split. So these zones away. Nice EMP. Nice EMP, but more storms are coming in. Zel's take it into the mineral line. 7 more SCV kills, another storm in the ByuN army. Ah, he stands in the storms. As that is the final storm. And Max actually done it. He's done it. He has broken through. The boys are being pulled into an Archon. Oh, the Archon goes down again. Archons get picked up. And once again, ByuN, he's barely holding on, losing 15 SCVs. He's surviving. That's MaxPax. He can just keep trading. Getting to Colossus. Hopefully he does notice the rally. Uh-oh. Okay, does notice. Oh. As the Prism gets shut down. Nice read out of ByuN. I'll shut him down. Now, the scary thing here is that now it's no longer just about Storms. Now we have Colossus as well. The Viking count is quite low. There are only two. Only two Vikings, and Viking production is not underway. So ByuN, he's unaware. The problem here is that he's just unaware of the tech switch, which MaxPax can afford because he has had the superior economy. So in that sense, MaxPax has gotten ahead, and with that lead, taked up into Colossus. Oh. ByuN is going to have a tough hold here. Now starts Viking production. Colossus, you wander a little bit too close. Turning away. Another storm lands. Still another high tempo in the back line. Here is pushing in. Nice CMP, but there are no Vikings. Yeah, the Colossus, they just rain down from the sky. GG gets called. MaxPax will overwhelm, and MaxPax will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. And MaxPax does claim it. Again, a cheeky build here by ByuN, winding it back. Remember, what did ByuN do? He went for a very fast third TC. He went for a third TC after the first Rax. Hyper greedy build out of ByuN, and he got scattered immediately. He got scattered, and what was MaxPax's response to keep up with his greed by running into and rushing into a faster third base, and then applying as much pressure as he could, punishing the fact that because of ByuN's build, he had no tanks. He also was skipping his bunker. That was on ByuN. He also skipped his bunker on the low ground, so he was bleeding out 9 Marines. He lost 9 Marines, blinked into the main base, killed more SCVs, killed more Marines. MaxPax gained momentum really early on, punishing the greed of ByuN. Didn't kill him, didn't react with a 4-gate, didn't kill him, but did cripple him. Did cripple ByuN, and ByuN had a hard time actually getting to his third, and in the end, the third base set him behind. It was a really risky move, really greedy choice out of ByuN, but because it got scattered, it wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it in the end. In the end, he was torn apart. GG, well played. And with that, congratulations to MaxPax, as he is this week's champion. Congratulations. A shout out to ByuN, because ByuN had some really insane games this tournament. I do highly recommend checking out ByuN vs Hero. If you missed it, ByuN vs Hero was a banger. It was insane. So I highly recommend the VODs for that series. MaxPax vs ByuN was a little bit more one-sided, or a little bit more clear-cut. But Hero vs ByuN was crazy. It was crazy. GG, well played. GG, well played. With that, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. And with that, remember, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week, there is the PiGosaur Cup. At this time, at this hour, on this day, every week, we have PiGosaur Cup. We did miss casting it last week just because we were otherwise preoccupied. But we should be here on a regular basis. Hopefully. Meanwhile, when it comes to our schedule, bam, you can see here, we just wrapped up with our Wednesday morning cast, and we have a Little League Cup this evening. That's going to be at 8 p.m. KST, 9 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in 8 hours. In 8 hours time, we're going to be live once again with another cast with Little League Cup. So non-stop StarCraft here on the Cranky Ducklings. You can see that tomorrow we're live with almost at StarCraft. Yeah, with StarCraft Evolution. We're going to be live with the StarCraft Evolution Championship tomorrow morning. We have the Pondcast tomorrow evening. We have Maestros of the Game over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 days straight of Maestros of the Game. That's going to be a lot of content. We have OSC Midseason Playoffs on Friday and SDO on Saturday. Again, we are live twice a day, every single day, for the most part. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, and it's a really busy week this week. A really intense week. I'm hoping that the rest of September is a little bit lighter, but at the same time, RSL is next week. Like, the Revival StarCraft League is going to be starting up, and we're most likely going to be covering some of that as well, so that's going to be quite a lot to get into. Fun fact, the RSL group stage is also this week. It's also running this week as well, so it's a lot of content, a lot of StarCrafts. Likewise, on the horizon, we have the Stellarfest qualifiers. We have SE2 Safe House as well. So as always, non-stop StarCraft, happy non-stop StarCraft. Oh, aye. But I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time, and we'll see you either tomorrow for StarCraft Evolution League, or we'll see you in 8 hours for the Little League Cup. We'll see you. We'll see you then. See you next time. Otherwise, thanks for watching. My camera's frozen. Oh. That's not good. It's fine, Bobby. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll just be the ether for now. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys later on tonight or tomorrow. We'll see you when we see you, because we're live every day, so I'm sure we'll tune in. You'll tune in at some point. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll see who is live. Who can we send everyone over to? Let's see. Let's find out. Let us find out. I know Enki is live, but I think Enki is about to wrap up. Enki. Oh, Nyoja, he might be doing a ladder game. I think Steadfast is doing a ladder game. We'll find someone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want to check out our VODs, you can do so via YouTube. YouTube in the chat or socials. You'll get links to our YouTube channel. Again, we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. There's plenty of content on YouTube. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Asale.